It's 110 degrees Fahrenheit in the Egyptian desert. No electricity, no refrigerants, no compressors, just sun-baked clay, water, and physics. And somehow, ancient Egyptians kept their homes cool enough to survive and even thrive in conditions that would overwhelm most modern air conditioners. This isn't ancient mysticism. It's evaporative physics so elegant that a $3 clay pot can outperform a $2,500 AC unit in the right conditions. Tonight, we expose why modern cooling technology often fights physics instead of working with it, and how a 4,000-year-old invention still holds lessons for beating extreme heat with zero electricity. Let's begin with the physics your AC manual won't explain. Air conditioning works by compressing refrigerant gas, forcing it to release heat outside, then expanding it to absorb heat inside. This cycle consumes massive electricity, typically 3,000 to 5,000 watts for a standard window unit. But evaporative cooling works on a different principle. When water evaporates, it absorbs 540 calories of heat energy per gram from its surroundings. This isn't theory. It's the same reason you feel cold when you step out of a shower. Water on your skin evaporates, pulling heat from your body. A clay pot exploits this exact physics. Water seeps through the porous clay walls, evaporates on the surface, and pulls heat from the inner chamber, cooling whatever you store inside. Archaeological evidence shows Egyptians used this design as early as 2500 BCE to preserve food, medicine, and drinking water in desert heat. No moving parts, no maintenance, no electricity. Just clay, sand, water, and physics. Modern testing confirms these pots can maintain interior temperatures 15 to 20 degrees below ambient, even at 110 degrees Fahrenheit outside. Your $2,500 AC unit can't do that on 0 watts. It can't even operate without power. The Zeer Pot works 24/7 as long as you add water twice daily. Why modern cooling fights physics while clay pots work with it? Air conditioners remove humidity from the air. This is necessary for the refrigeration cycle to work efficiently. But in dry climates like deserts, humidity is already low. Removing more humidity is wasteful. It consumes energy without improving comfort. Worse, AC units generate waste heat at the condenser unit outside your home. That heat radiates back into your environment, slightly raising ambient temperature. In dense urban areas, this creates heat island effects, where AC units collectively make the neighborhood hotter. Clay pots do the opposite. They add beneficial humidity to dry air while cooling. In desert climates, where relative humidity might be 10 to 20%, evaporative cooling actually improves comfort by raising humidity to 30 to 40%, the ideal range for human thermal comfort. AC fights the environment. Clay pots harmonize with it. The energy math that exposes modern cooling's dirty secret. A standard 10,000 BTU window AC unit consumes approximately 900 to 1,200 watts while running. At 12 cents per kilowatt hour, that's $2.50 to $3.50 per day in electricity costs, $75 to $105 per month. Over a typical cooling season, that's $300 to $500 in electricity, plus the $2,500 initial purchase. The clay pot? $3 for materials, $0 for electricity, $0 for maintenance. Total 5-year cost? $3. Total 5-year cost for AC? $3,500 to $5,000. But here's what really matters: carbon footprint. That AC unit produces approximately 1,500 pounds of CO2 annually from electricity generation. The clay pot produces zero, not low, zero. In a world facing climate change, this isn't just economics, it's environmental responsibility. The humidity limitation and why it's not actually a limitation in most hot climates. Critics say evaporative cooling doesn't work in humid climates. This is true, but misleading. Evaporative cooling excels in dry heat, which covers most of Earth's hottest regions: deserts, high plains, Mediterranean climates. Phoenix, Las Vegas, Cairo, Riyadh, Delhi during dry season, Los Angeles, all these cities have 200-plus days annually where evaporative cooling outperforms refrigerated AC in efficiency and comfort. The limitation only applies to already humid climates like Miami or Bangkok, where traditional AC struggles too because it must work harder to remove excess moisture. The The real question isn't which technology works everywhere. The real question is which technology works best in your climate. For 70% of the world's population living in hot, dry regions, the answer is evaporative cooling. Modern evaporative coolers, swamp coolers, try to replicate this physics but miss the elegance. A typical swamp cooler costs $300 to $800, consumes 200 to 400 watts of electricity to run a fan and water pump, and requires regular maintenance to prevent mineral buildup and mold. It's better than AC in dry climates, but it's still technology dependent. The clay pot needs none of this. No fan, no pump, no filters, no electricity. Water moves through the clay via capillary action, a passive process that requires zero energy input. The cooling happens automatically as long as the clay stays wet. This isn't primitive, it's optimized. Every component serves multiple functions. The clay provides structure, allows water passage, and radiates cooled air. The sand provides thermal mass and water reservoir. The cloth prevents debris entry while allowing evaporation. Nothing is wasted, nothing is redundant. The thermal mass advantage most cooling systems ignore. Clay has high thermal mass. It absorbs heat slowly and releases it slowly. This creates temperature stability that AC units can't match. An AC unit cycles on and off, creating temperature swings of 3 to 5 degrees as it struggles to maintain set point. The clay pot maintains steady, gradual cooling. No cycling, no temperature spikes, no compressor strain. This stability matters for food preservation especially. Modern refrigerators cycle compressors every 15 to 20 minutes, creating temperature fluctuations that accelerate food spoilage. The Zeer Pot maintains consistent 50 to 55 degrees Fahrenheit, ideal for preserving fruits, vegetables, dairy, and medicines without freezing damage. In developing regions today, Zeer Pots extend food shelf life by 3 to 5 times compared to ambient storage, reducing waste and improving nutrition without electricity.
Building your own Zeer Pot. Materials you can find today. You need 2 unglazed terracotta pots, different sizes so one fits inside the other with 1 to 2 inches of gap. Hardware stores sell these for $2 to $5 each. You need sand. Any clean sand works, $3 for a small bag. You need water, free. Optional, a terracotta saucer to cover the top or a damp cloth. Assembly takes 5 minutes. Place smaller pot inside larger, fill gap with sand, pour water into sand until saturated, cover top, place in shaded, breezy location. That's it. No tools, no skills, no electricity. Within 30 minutes, interior temperature drops 10 degrees. Within 2 hours, it reaches maximum cooling, 15 to 25 degrees below ambient. Re-wet the sand twice daily. Total cost, under $10. Total time, 5 minutes. Total electricity, 0. The airflow requirement and why placement matters more than power. Evaporative cooling needs airflow to work. Stagnant air becomes saturated with moisture, stopping evaporation. This is why Egyptians placed Zeer Pots in shaded courtyards with cross breezes or near doorways where air movement was natural. Modern swamp coolers use fans to force airflow, but the clay pot relies on passive convection. Warm air rises around the pot, drawing cooler air from below. This creates natural circulation that enhances cooling without electricity. Your placement determines performance. Position the pot where breezes flow, near open windows, in courtyards, under shade trees. Avoid enclosed spaces with no air movement. This isn't a limitation, it's an invitation to work with your environment rather than sealing yourself off from it. AC units require sealed rooms to work efficiently. Clay pots encourage open, ventilated living, which is healthier, more comfortable, and more connected to natural rhythms. The mineral buildup reality and why it's actually beneficial. Over time, minerals in water deposit on the clay surface as white crust. AC units treat this as a problem requiring chemical cleaners and maintenance. Clay pots treat it as a feature. Those mineral deposits actually improve cooling efficiency by increasing surface area for evaporation. The rough, crystalline surface holds more water film than smooth clay, extending evaporation time. Egyptians never cleaned their pots. They let mineral buildup accumulate naturally, knowing it enhanced performance. This is the opposite of modern technology maintenance cycles. Your AC unit requires annual servicing, filter replacements, refrigerant checks, and eventual compressor replacement. The clay pot requires nothing, just water. When it eventually cracks from age after years of use, you replace it for $3. No disposal fees, no hazardous refrigerants, no electronic waste. Scaling up, how entire buildings used this physics. Egyptians didn't just cool pots, they cooled homes. Traditional Egyptian architecture featured wind catchers, or malkoffs, towers that captured prevailing breezes and directed them over water channels or wet reed mats. As air passed over the wet surfaces, evaporation cooled it before entering living spaces. Some homes had central courtyards with fountains. Water evaporated into courtyard air, cooling it before it circulated into rooms. These passive cooling systems maintained interior temperatures 20 to 30 degrees below ambient without any mechanical equipment. Modern architects are rediscovering these principles. The Council House 2 building in Melbourne, Australia, uses evaporative cooling towers to reduce energy consumption by 80% compared to conventional AC. The physics hasn't changed in 4,000 years. Only our willingness to apply it has. The comfort difference physics can't measure, but humans feel. AC-cooled air feels dead. It's dry, still, and often too cold, forcing you to wear sweaters in summer. Evaporatively cooled air feels alive. It's slightly humid, gently moving, and naturally balanced. Your skin doesn't dry out, your sinuses don't crack, your throat doesn't ache. This isn't subjective preference, it's physiological response to air quality. Dry air below 30% humidity pulls moisture from your respiratory tract, causing irritation and increasing susceptibility to airborne pathogens. Evaporative cooling maintains 40 to 60% humidity, the range where human respiratory systems function optimally. AC fights your biology. Evaporative cooling supports it. The resilience factor modern systems lack. Your $2,500 AC unit fails when power goes out, refrigerant leaks, compressor burns out, filters clog, or extreme heat overwhelms its capacity. In extreme heat waves, AC units often can't keep up with temperatures above 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Their efficiency drops as outdoor temperature rises. The clay pot does the opposite. It works better in extreme heat. Higher temperatures accelerate evaporation, increasing cooling effect. Power outage? No problem. Heat wave? Better performance. Equipment failure? Replace for $3. This isn't just convenience, it's survival. In regions facing increasing extreme heat events due to climate change, resilience matters more than peak performance. A system that works when everything else fails is more valuable than a system that works perfectly until it doesn't. The cultural wisdom modern engineering forgot. Egyptians didn't invent the Zeer Pot through laboratory research. They observed nature. Water evaporating from desert oases created cool microclimates. Animals sought shade near water sources during hottest hours. Plants transpired moisture to cool their leaves. Humans learned from these patterns and applied them. This biomimicry, learning from nature's solutions, is what modern engineering often misses in pursuit of technological complexity. The simplest solution isn't always the least effective. Sometimes it's the most elegant. The clay pot embodies this wisdom. Work with physics, not against it. Use local materials, not imported technology. Create systems that improve with age, not degrade. These principles matter beyond cooling. They're design philosophy for sustainable living. Your action plan, starting tonight. Step 1. Buy 2 unglazed terracotta pots from any garden center, $5 total. Step 2. Get sand,
$3. Step 3. Assemble your Zeer Pot following the instructions we covered. Step 4. Place it in a shaded, breezy spot on your porch or balcony. Step 5. Put drinks, fruit, or lunch inside. Step 6. Experience cooling that costs nothing to operate. This isn't about abandoning modern AC entirely. It's about having options. Use the clay pot for daytime cooling when you're not home. Use AC for nighttime comfort if needed. Combine approaches, reduce electricity bills, reduce carbon footprint, reconnect with physics that kept humans comfortable for millennia before we forgot how to work with nature. Final truth. The $3 clay pot doesn't beat your $2,500 AC unit in every metric. It can't reach 40 degrees Fahrenheit like a refrigerator. It doesn't work well in humid climates. It requires manual refilling. But in the metrics that matter most, energy efficiency, environmental impact, resilience, cost, and harmony with natural physics, the ancient solution outperforms modern technology decisively. This isn't about rejecting progress. It's about recognizing that some ancient wisdom was optimized through centuries of trial and error, and that optimization still holds value today. The Egyptians survived 110-degree heat not despite their simple technology, but because of it. They understood physics better than we do, and that understanding is still available to us for $3 and a bucket of water. Stay cool. Stay wise, and remember, sometimes the oldest solutions are still the most brilliant.